The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again, coming to you live from New York City. That's where we originate. That's where the show comes from. Right now, it's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning in London at 1 a.m., 3 a.m. in Israel, and it's 9 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. I'd like to invite each and every one of you, one and all, to another edition of Talk Back Live. This is a program where we get together each Thursday at this time, and we get together for a little fun, a little conversation, and we talk about everything under the sun, and you can be involved in the show. That's right. And all you have to do is just be part of us, and you can talk to us just as much as we talk to you. That's why they call the show Talk Back Live. And of course, throughout the show, we got so many things to talk about today, and we want to talk it over with you. And right throughout the show, conversation, as I said, we got that coming along, and we want you in on the conversation as well. Okay, so that's what's happening over here on this side of the world in New York City. Now, no matter where you are around the world, doesn't matter. You can be someplace, okay, east, west, I don't know. You could be on the Western time zone, okay? We're here east, okay? That's where we come from. And of course, first of all, you have to look at your clocks, right? Whatever your clock says, that's what time we come on each week at this time in your area, all right? So make sure you make it a point that keep that fresh in your mind and keep abreast of it so you won't forget about that. Now, we know a lot of people have been joining us for so long. A lot of people have been with us all of these years, and we thank you for that. But just in case you may be new to the program, the way we structure the program is the way we're doing it right now. Right now, I am what they call the mode of preparation. So I'm prepping right now. This is the prep mode of the show, which means I'm getting things started the way I'm doing. And that gives you an opportunity now as we prep along, you can at any time you want, even right now, is to use your fingers on your keyboard, on your computer, your iPhone, and your tablets or whatever devices that you may use. Type in whatever you want to talk about, and I'll see you right there on a big screen. And of course, I will acknowledge it because that's what the show is all about, free exchange and ideas of opinion. Now, I know you have a lot of opinions and ideas, and we would like to hear it. Now, just because you may be new to the program, that doesn't make you any less important than the people who's been with us all of these years. So, brace yourself, get back, relax, and let's get ready for the show, right? Now, if you're here for the first time, especially, you have to know that we're coming on 3 different platforms. We're live on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and Instagram as well. And any one of those 3 platforms can get you there. You don't have to miss a thing. We're all right here for you. So keep telling your friends about it. Keep that in mind because we would like to have them along. And speaking of that, if you're watching us for the first time on Facebook, and those of you who've been around all of this time, watching us on Facebook, what we want you to do is take the time to tag your friends. This very show, you can tag this show to them right now as we speak. You don't have to miss anything. It's just a matter of tagging them. And that lets them know that we're here. And when you tag them, they'll see that tag coming from you. They'll know it's from you. You're friends, so you'll know that. And what they'll do is they'll click onto that tag and brings them right here. And when they see you, they'll say, okay, he tagged me, he's there. And there'll be other people here too, in the room. If they want to talk, they'll be here. You can talk to them as well as talk to me as well. All right. So do that. Tag your friends, tag all of your friends, let them know that we're out here. Now, for all of you who watch us on YouTube, I always encourage you, and will continue to encourage you until you get it right, is to go onto our YouTube channel and click on to subscribe, right? What you have to do is just drag your mouse over there, point the arrow where it says subscribe. There's a black border right there, and white lettering says subscribe. Just click onto it. That's all it takes. And there's no effort to it. As a matter of fact, not only there is no effort, but there's no charge for it. It's all free. All right. You may be wondering, okay, if I subscribe to that, do I have to take money out of my pockets, or I should have to show my credit card? Put your credit cards away, put your money in your pocket. We're not asking for anything. The only thing that we're asking for is for you to pass the word along to your family, friends, and relatives as well, and let them know that we're out here for them as well, because the more the merrier. And if they like what they see and they like what they hear, chances are they'll be back again and again, just like you. And maybe they'll just come in, especially for you, just because you advise them to. So that's it. Now, for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, don't have to push too much. There's not much to talk about there. All you have to do is just keep the word percolating to your family, friends, and relatives, and let them know that we're out here. And we've got all of that going. Now, on the show, we talk to you. Of course, you're part of the show too. And of course, you're part of the show right now. I hope you have had a chance right now to tag your friends right now. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube and Instagram, you can do basically the same thing the people on Facebook do. They tag, and you can do something similar, because it's all about cutting and pasting the platform that you're watching us on right now. If you're on YouTube or Instagram, cut and paste the platform. The platform is the link, right? And once you cut and paste that, you send it to all of your friends, as many as you want, and they'll see it, and they'll click onto it, and it brings them right to you. So that's how we do that. Okay, so please do that. All right, we look forward to you. And for you guys who are going to, or hopefully you will, subscribe to us, get your family and friends to do that. We would love for you to subscribe to our Facebook page, because the reason why we want you to do that, we want to see how many people are actually following us and being with us each week. You know, they're members right there. And the second reason is that from now on, now that you have subscribed to us, now it gives you the opportunity to know that every time we come on live and you happen to be on the line just there, and maybe you have forgotten about the show, it gives you a special instant notification letting you know that something is happening. We're on the air live. And even if we're not on the air and you happen to be online and you get an instant notification, that may be something else. Maybe we're posting a video or a still photo or something like that. There's some kind of activity going along and you get instant notification. So that's what we do. All right. Now that we have that set, also, right throughout the show, we've got a lot of things coming along. All right. We do our regular routine here as well as talk to you. And one of the regular routines that we have is that we have sports coming up. As a matter of fact, sports is coming up this hour. Why? Because this is the only hour we have. But I can tell you this, it's coming on not too far away in just a few minutes. In this particular half hour of the hour, Brian Camp will be along. We're going to call on him out of Charlotte, North Carolina, because he's going to be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. The name of his show is called Sports Update. There's a lot to talk about. And of course, the summertime is here. Well, will soon be here. However, it is baseball season and a lot of things that are happening in baseball. So we've got all of that coming along. He's coming along. We'll be talking about that too. And later on in the program too, I have this thing, what we call This Day in History. Now, something happened on this day in history. Here we are, April 10th. That's today's date, April 10th. Something happened on this day in history. What was it? I'm going to let you know about that because we have a long list of things that happened on this day in history. So that's coming up too. And later on in the program, as we always do, I know a lot of you guys wait around for that. We have the movies that we always recommend that you watch during the week. I have my picks of the week because I always go to Turner Classic Movies, right? Because I love those black and white movies, those classic movies that I grew up on. And perhaps you may like them too. So I have my picks of the week. And I'm going to relay all of that to you And that's coming up later on in the show right here on Talk Back Live. Remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, Talk Back Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facility. So we got all of that out of the way because we are responsible. I want to take the time to say hello to Mary out of Brooklyn, New York. Mary Reed out of Brooklyn, New York. She's here with us once again. Good evening to you. See, we're on the East Coast, so it's evening here. It's after 8 o'clock here. And it could be another time in your area. If you're on the West Coast, then it's after 5 o'clock where you are, okay? So act accordingly, okay? Mary, thank you so much for being along with us. And the rest of you joining in, thank you so much for being along with us. Got a lot of things to talk about. We are, again, we are in the month of April. And I don't see anything that we're celebrating special in April. We're not celebrating anything that's special in April, but we do have something that we want to acknowledge all month long of April, all right? And I mentioned it last week, and all month long for the rest of this month, when we come on the air, as long as it's in April, we are going to tell you more about it. So here it is, what we're going to acknowledge, and I think is a very important thing to talk about. It's National Alcohol Awareness Month. Now, we know the damage it can do to a lot of people that had done in the past, and people who have maybe under the umbrella of all of that. We like to make sure that you make it awareness. That's just an awareness. If you know someone, maybe you or someone that you know or love who are under that umbrella and needs help, we have a phone number that we can give you that you can call up. Then they'll straighten everything out for you. They'll give you information that you need to know to get you on the good road of recovery. And whatever the answers they have, if they don't have them at that particular point, they could direct you someplace. That's the whole thing. You see, it's a chain reaction. So they can direct you. So let me give you that phone number right away. It's for National Alcohol Awareness Month. And that number is 866-927-0484. Again, that's 866-927-0484. You know, you could be a person that may be a recovering alcoholic or something like that, and you're doing well. Maybe you've been off alcohol for years and years, and now you're at the state now where you could be a person that could start a crusade, letting other people know about what alcohol is really all about, and, you know, express your experience about it. And because a lot of people may think, well, you know, who am I to talk about it? I've been there, but, you know, who am I to talk to anyone about it? But see, that's the whole idea. You talk to people about your experience of what you've been through down the road. And that could help a lot of people more than you know. There are a lot of places you can go. You have the AA, and there's a meeting for that. You talk to people who've been there. And believe it or not, they help out. They could help out, and they could be very inspiring. So, or I should say inspiring, right? Inspiring. And you could talk to them about it. So let me give you that number one more time. The number is 866-927-0484. Let me try that again. 866-927-0484. Again, that's 866-927-0484. You give them a call and help someone out. Also, we're celebrating National Siblings Day. Okay, now a lot of you, if you're an only child, it doesn't apply to you. But if you have brothers and sisters, this is the day about it. I haven't heard much about it. I haven't seen much about it online or anything like that. But today is National Siblings Day. You have brothers, you have sisters, and a lot of people, and then they go online, let's say on Facebook, and they post, you know, pictures, photos of their siblings, you know, then and now, you know, that kind of thing, you know. But in case you didn't remember, I haven't seen anything online this morning about it. Maybe perhaps I wasn't online long enough to know that or to see that. but it is National Siblings Day. So say hello to your brother and say hello to your sister. Just tell them that I said hi as well. Okay. Okay. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. We're talking back live to you as you talk back to us, and you want to get in on the conversation, please do that. All you have to do is, again, use your keyboard on your telephone. You could use it on your tablet and on your computer, whether it's a laptop or a desktop. Okay. Jay North, known to TV lovers as the star of Dennis the Menace, died Sunday after many years of battling cancer. His passing was first announced by longtime friend Jeannie Russell, who played Dennis's playmate Margaret Wade on the series. North was born August 3rd, 1951 in Hollywood. By age 8, he was known all over the country for playing mischievous Dennis on TV version of the popular comic strip. The show lasted from late 1959 to 1963. Jay was 73 years old. Well, it's time to get started. And as I promised you, we're going to go over there live. That's what we do. We're going to go over there live. Brian Camp is from North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, and he's here with us. And he's going to bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports. I didn't mention it, but if you have any sports-related questions, feel free to ask him while he's here on live TV. Now, those of you who are watching us on Instagram, you won't get a chance to see him because what it is that we don't have the luxury of getting him on screen. But if you're watching us on YouTube and Facebook, you can see him on screen. But you guys on Instagram, you can still ask the questions and you can still hear him. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can hear him now. Is he there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, loud and clear.
I just want to make sure that the people on Instagram can hear you because they don't see you, but they can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hello, Instagram. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well out there. I'm coming to you live from Charlotte, North Carolina, to everybody out there on Facebook as well, too, and YouTube as well. Well, it is 57 degrees out here in the Queen City of Charlotte. We just got over a heat wave last week. But it's okay. It's okay. It's always good to have some cool weather. And it rained today, too. It rained. It was a late afternoon rain that fell. We needed it because I tell you, this pollen it has everybody sneezing and coughing. I don't get all of that, the congestion or anything. I get these little bad headaches and everything. So, but I'm glad that the rain just was able to wash it away. And somebody told me that it's headed north because I'm coming into New York, believing that on Saturday to spend a week there in the New York City area and hope to see a lot of my family and my friends as well too. But so they tell me it's out there. So this is fading away here with that pollen. That's that yellow stuff that be on your cars and it being, in city people don't really get that much of it because, they don't see it, but it's supposed to be there as well. But good evening again, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Yes, good evening to you too, Mary, as well too. Like I said, it's 57 degrees and it's cloudy, so a little chill. But we have new champions. The Final Four, March Madness is officially over. The UConn Huskies, the women Huskies, defeated the South Carolina Gamecocks. I'm a Dawn Staley fan. She's a coach. She was going after her fourth title, but UConn had came out. They were the better team. They were aggressive, and they were just outright deserving to win. And so, congratulations to them. To the University of Connecticut winning their 12th championship for their women's basketball team, and for the men's side, congratulations to Florida University too. It was that was an epic game. I was pulling for Houston. Houston was winning, but at the end it seemed like they could not get it together. As you play along in these here games and these tournaments, and your legs get a little rubbery, and that's from exhausted and being exhausted. But Houston had a wonderful season. But again, Florida, the Florida Gators, and for the men, and the UConn Huskies for the women, they are champions of the national championship for college basketball for women's and men. Coming up April 24th to the 26th is the NFL draft. That will be on ESPN starting at 8 o'clock. It's going to run for 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And check your local listings to see who your team is trying to get or may try to get. So we just hope that everything be well with your team for this upcoming season. Congratulations to Carmelo Anthony and Dwight Howard are going into the Basketball Hall of Fame later this year. Also selected for the enshrinement is WNBA great Sue Bird, Maya Moore, and Sylvia Fowles. Chicago Bulls coach and two-time NCAA champion Billy Donovan, Miami Heat management general partner Mickey Arison, and longtime referee Danny Crawford. I didn't even know that referees get into the NBA, but yeah, I guess so. The enshrinement for the Hall of Fame will be September 5th and 6th. During that weekend, it'll be in Springfield, Massachusetts. Baseball, Major League Baseball, the Pittsburgh Pirates. And this is a story that's been going around. I don't know how it's been going around social media, but I saw this on the news. The Pittsburgh Pirates announced they would be adding the number 21 logo back to the right field wall to honor Roberto Clemente at PNC Park after the franchise icon family expressed its unhappiness that the sign was removed for an advertisement. Now, the sign, which had been on the right field wall since 2022, featured Clemente's name and the number 21, but it was replaced with an advertisement for Surfside and an alcoholic drink. The disrespect that some Major League Baseball people would have. Now, I'm not going to call this as a racial thing that occurred. You just don't know. Because, I mean, if you think about it, we're not too removed from Major League Baseball being desegregated. As you know, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier back in 1947. But with things like that, we just don't know. Not too long ago, the sitting president of the United States was going to remove a Jackie Robinson thing. I think it was some kind of a post or something, but it was reestablished later on. And yes, we're living in 2025, and these things are still going on. So let's stop the BS. Stop messing around. I mean, it's bad enough that you got Confederate generals still being how would you say, it's still being memorized and not forgetting. But during that time, that was the Civil War, where it was the North and South. That was a war of slavery, and between the two countries, that's two parts of the states of the United States, of the North and the South. And it took Abraham Lincoln, who signed the bill officially in 1865. That's when it was finalized in Galveston, Texas. But we're not going to talk about that. But, politics and sports do not go together. But for some reason, it still comes together. And that brings out the bad politics and bad nature of things. But let's stay right into Major League Baseball. Hall of Fame pitcher Pedro Martinez said on a social media that several members were inside the nightclub that collapsed in the Dominican Republic. At least 221 people were killed, with hundreds more injured from the collapse at the Jet Ski nightclub in Santo Domingo. Now, former World Series champion Octavio Dutel and former Major League player Tony Blanco were among the dead, as well as Nelsie Cruz, the governor of the Monte Cristi province in the country, and sister. She's the sister of seven-time Major League Baseball All-Star Nelson Cruz. So they were in a nightclub, but the ceiling just had collapsed. So some of them are still under the rubble. And this happened on Tuesday. on the island of the Dominican Republic. So we just don't know any other further details, but there's a rescue unit out right now. So Pedro Martinez, who's a Hall of Famer, you see him on TV on Fox Sports during the World Series and the postseason. He has family members and don't know whether or not they are alive. So our prayers go out to him and to his family. And we sorry for the ones that lost. There were two former baseball players that also were among the dead. And we just don't know how these things occur. Whenever you have something like this, it could have been an earthquake. Nothing was said, but we know that a ceiling had collapsed. This thing in sports in April 10th, 1913, the New York Highlanders played their first game as the New York Yankees. Originally, the New York Yankees were the New York Highlanders. This is back in the early 1900s. And I believe in 1913 or something like that. 1913, they became known as the Yankees. 1947, Jackie Robinson becomes the first African-American player to sign a Major League Baseball contract. 1961, the Washington Senators played a first game in franchise history at JFK Stadium, former home of the Washington NFL football team. At that time was the Redskins. 1962, 52,564 attended the first game at Chavez Ravine, which is the ballpark for the LA Dodgers. That stadium is still up since 1962 until now. 1964, demolition begins in New York City Polo Grounds, as formerly as the New York Jets and the New York Giants of the baseball New York Giants played there. So to build up for a stadium for the New York Jets and the New York Mets, who played at Shea Stadium. So, but at that time they was playing at the Polo Grounds. 1983, Eddie Murray, Baltimore Orioles, hit his 1,000th career hit. Birthdays today, 1921. Happy birthday to the late Chuck Connors, Major League Baseball actor. Remember him as the Rifleman. He used to play Cowboy Western. It was a TV series that stayed on for a half an hour. But Chuck Connors used to play baseball. He was a pitcher as well, too. He was born in Brooklyn, New York. 1936, John Madden, Super Bowl coach for the Oakland Raiders, born in Austin, Minnesota. 1938, Dandy Don Meredith, you know him. He used to sing on Monday Night Football when the game was out of reach and it was about over. He would say, "Turn out the lights, the party's over. All good things must come to an end." Yeah, that's Dandy Don. His birthday was he was born in, like I said, 1938, born in Mount Vernon, Texas. 1948, happy birthday to Mel Blount, NFL cornerback, Hall of Famer for the Pittsburgh Steelers, was born in Vidyalai, Georgia. And happy birthday to 1950 to Ken Griffey Sr., Major League Baseball for the Cincinnati Reds. The old Red Machine was born in Donora, Pennsylvania. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports.
Oh, yeah. Chuck Connors also played basketball.
Yes, he did. Yes, he played
basketball.
I don't played in the NBA, but I do know that he played in the major leagues for baseball.
Yeah, he played with the Dodgers. He played with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Mm-hmm. And that height that he has, no wonder he played basketball. He had a lot of height on him. He was 6'6". Yeah. And then he became the Rifleman. And there was another show that he used to be on called Branded. I don't know if you remember that show.
That one I don't remember. I do remember the Rifleman, though.
Yeah, the Rifleman, Branded, and he had a thing on Roots. He was on Roots. Yes, he was one of the slave masters on Roots.
Yeah. I think everybody was on Roots.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and something, your Giants. Last time we spoke, they were in third place. They bumped up to second place, didn't they?
That's right. That's right. And guess what? Since I'm coming in,
the Yankees dipped to third from first.
Yeah, and coming to New York, there's going to be a slim chance the Giants are coming in to play the New York Yankees this weekend coming up at Yankee
That's
Stadium.
right.
So
That's right.
there's a slim chance I might be able to get to see that Sunday game and see how tickets are. I won't be able to get in for Friday because I won't be coming in until Saturday morning. Won't be able to Saturday game, but there's a possibility as if the schedule that I previously have planned for Sunday to see my family members, my children, if it doesn't come forth, then I might sneak over to the Boogie Down Bronx and go see the Yankees play against Let's Go Giants. Yes. So, we'll see.
We'll see what happens, but I think the Yankees will win. I think the Yankees will beat them.
We gain series, so I'll be happy.
The Yankees are going to sweep them.
I don't know about all of that. No. Yankees get too many injuries going on right
now. They do. But we'll see. That's going to be an interesting game. Of course, everybody's going to be tuning in for that part. That's an interesting game. Yeah. You mentioned something about that collapse, and and it came in with the sports because there were some sports figures that were involved in that. What was his name? Was it Nelson Cruz? I think his name was
Nelson Cruz. His sister,
the New York Yankees and the New York Mets.
Right, Nelson Cruz's sister was involved with that. She was like a governor. It says it was Nestle Cruz, the governor of the Monte Cristo province in the country, and sister. He was a sister of 7-time Major League Baseball All-Star Nelson Cruz. So he perished away. So sorry to hear that. Along with Tony Blanco and Octavia Dotel.
Yeah, so many things. So many grim things are happening. That was a sports related issue right there. But since we're talking about all of that, there's so many grim things that happen. It just bothers me a lot. I mean, International Airport out in Washington, D.C., not in Washington, D.C., but Arlington, Virginia, the Ronald Reagan International Airport, 2 planes' wings clipped. You heard about that story?
I didn't hear about that one.
And at the airport, the 2 planes. I don't know how that happened, but the wings clipped. And then in New York City today, in the afternoon, like mid-afternoon, there was a helicopter crash that fell in the Hudson River.
I think I saw something like that on social media. I thought it was was there any injuries at all?
6 were dead. Everybody died in there. There was the pilot, and there was a family of 5. The 2 adults and 3 children from Spain. They came up. They were on tour. They were touring New York City, and so they did it by helicopter. And as the helicopter lifted off, we don't know what the cause was just yet. I think they're still looking into that to find out what happened or why it happened. But it crashed. There were some people who actually witnessed it. The propeller came off, and then they showed videos on it, but they didn't show the entire video. They didn't want to show you the impact of the crash.
I just sort of and I did see the impact. It went into the water.
Yeah, it went into water. But and then the propeller, came off, and then when the actual body of the helicopter went into the water, it went into the water without the propeller. Wow. Well, so many things are happening, man. Just makes you wonder. Is this the end? There's so many things going on. And when I saw that, that was the end of the news for me for today. When I saw that, because there's just so many things going on, and that kind of took the cake. And I just kind of like turned the news off altogether. I watched it long enough to get more information about it, for as long as I could, at least to have something intelligent to talk about it. But after that, I said, nah, that's the news for the day. I'm finished with the news for the day. I'll return tomorrow. But so many things going on, So anyway, but hey, listen. You gave me the sports. That's good. We're going to catch you back here tomorrow. Yeah.
It's still iffy. There's a lot of things that's going on at work. you know, I hate to say this, but it still involves politics in our nation's capital that affects people in the United States with jobs. And,
Yeah.
we're short staffed, and a lot of people is not happy with some new arrangements from the Board of Ed. We have a new person in charge of education, as you know. We have with the traffickers online. That's why there's so many airplane crashes. You know how I feel about the Dow Jones. It's still going up and down and everything. But, still going to keep my faith, not only in this country or not in man, but to the high most. But it's really ridiculous on how you're going to let things get out of hand with, sitting in office. I know a lot of people's regretting now. They are regretting their vote, but it is what it is. You wanted, you wanted this president. Well, you got him, and this is where we are now, So thank goodness I look at sports to get my attention away from this madness. It is a madness with this nation, with this administration. Not a big fan of the Republicans, as you know, and I'm not really a big fan of the Democrats as well either. Not a fan of the independents. It's just, everybody wants something. Every party is using the American people, So there's what it is.
Well, listen, you just got to keep our fingers crossed. But I look at these things that are going on, and I'm more concerned about that. And I pray for those people in the Dominican Republic, their families. They had to identify the body. Some of them, they had a tent in front of that place, right? And the people the ones that they found in there that didn't have identification, they let the family come in to identify the body themselves, and they came out crying. And I can understand that.
When you have all of that rubble, all that cement on top of you.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine, but it's so hard to remove. It takes layers of that cement on top of you. Not so much of the impact, but it's you're suffocating too as well too.
Yeah. I heard that club was a well-known club in the Dominican Republic. Everyone that was someone showed up at that club. And so they said that was a very popular club in the Dominican Republic, and it came down to that.
On a Tuesday. This is Monday night into Tuesday. So, it doesn't mean that it have to be on the weekend, but it's just like that. It's just
I also pray for those families in New York who lost their friend. Well, these people that were in the helicopter from Spain. So I pray for the family of those people as well.
Well, the people in New York, they have a large population of Dominicans that live. So our prayers are with the people in New York's family who are Dominican. And there are some that's not, I guess. I don't know. I've been to the Dominican Republic. It's a nice island. But just got to just keep in prayer. That's it.
That's it. That's absolutely true. Okay. Hopefully we'll see you. If not, we'll cover everything for you as we always do. We'll see about that. Okay?
Good night, good morning, good afternoon to all who wherever you are. Have a safe day, safe night, and sleep well. Mary, I'll speak to you soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone.
All right. Thanks a lot, Brian. That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Hopefully he'll be here tomorrow. We'll see. If not, we'll cover everything like we did last week. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and we're talking back live to you as you talk to us. We thank you so much for being along with us. It's always something. Now, while we're on the subject, I got this information too. Lenny Welch, I understand, passed away as well. Lenny Welch did that big hit record in the 60s called Since I Don't Have You. I believe that, I think that was the name of the song. What was the name of that song? Anyway, Lenny Welch passed away. And I was a big fan of Lenny Welch. Lenny Welch did that song, and I used to play his records on the air. Um, but I understand he passed away. I think he was 83 years old. I think something like that. I saw it on social media. I'd like to get more confirmation about that. Sometimes things float around on social media. You can't always take it to gospel, but that's the word I got. I'm going to learn more about it, and I pass it along tomorrow on the coffee hour uh, to see what we come up with. Right? Okay. Anyway, it's the Talk Back Live program, and we're talking back live to you. I thank you so much for being along with us, and we're going to keep things rolling for the remaining of the show. And those of you who have friends and family, please get in contact with them and share what's left of the show with them. Okay, we really would appreciate that. Okay, it's time to go back in time. It's time to go back in time, because back in time on this day in history in 1954, KRGV TV, Channel 5 in Westlake, Texas, ABC station started broadcasting. On this day in history in 1957, 12 Angry Men starring Henry Fonda and Lee J. Cobb is released. Back in 1970, Paul McCartney officially announces the split of the Beatles in a press release promoting his solo album. Back in 1974, Golda Meir resigns as Israel's prime minister. Back in 1991, the last automat closed at 3rd Avenue and 42nd Street in New York City. I remember that automat too, which is now a Gap store. Back in 1995, New York City banned smoking in all restaurants that seats 35 or more. In 2012, Rick Sandro suspends his candidacy for the Republican presidential nomination, making Mitt Romney the overwhelming favorite. And the same year, the United Nations deadline for Syria, the Syrian troop withdrawal passes as violence continued. In 2014, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, starring Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone, premieres in London. And that same year, the 29th Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees came out to be Peter Gabriel, Hall & Oates, Kiss, Nirvana, Linda Ronstadt, Cat Stevens, the E Street Band, Brian Epstein, who was the manager of the Beatles, and Andrew Loog Oldham. In 2017, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, starring Chris Pratt and Zoe Saldana, premieres in Tokyo, Japan. Actor Henry Morgan, who played on Dragnet, and of course he played on MASH as well, was born on this day in 1915 in Detroit, Michigan. He died December 7th in 2011 at the age of 96 years old. He passed away in his sleep. On this day in history in 1921, actor Chuck Connors, you already heard about that. That's his birthday. Played the Rifleman, was born on this day. So we'll bypass that. Brian already announced that. Actor Omar Sharif was born on this day in 1932. And he was born in Alexandria, Egypt. And he died July 10th, 2015 at the age of 83 years old. Actor Steven Seagal was born on this day in 1951 in Detroit, Michigan. He's 74 years old today. In 1959, R&B singer Babyface, a.k.a. Kenneth Edmonds, was born in Indianapolis, Indiana. He's 66 years old today. In 1970, rapper Q-Tip was born in Harlem, New York. He's 55. In 1971, jazz musician Joey DeFrancesco, I should say, was born in Springfield, Pennsylvania, and he died in 2022. Actress singer Mandy Moore was born on this day in 1984, was born in Nashua, New Hampshire, and she's 41 years old today. In 1971, actress director Penny Marshall, who played on Laverne and Shirley. She got married to director Rob Reiner, who played on All in the Family. They got divorced in 1981. In 1958, singer Chuck Willis, with his big hit CC Rider back in the 1950s, dies at the age of 30 years old. In 1986, singer-songwriter Linda Creed, my good friend, died of breast cancer at the age of 37 years old. Comedian Sam Kinison died on this day in 1992 at the age of 38. He died in a car accident. He was born December 8, 1953 in Yakima, Washington. Yakima, Washington. Pop singer Little Eva was died on this day in 2003 at the age of 59 years old from she died from cancer, and she was born June 29th, 1943, and she was born in Belle Haven, North Carolina. In 2007, jazz singer Dakota Staton dies at the age of 76 years old. In 2010, actress Dixie Carter, who played on Designing Women, and of course, she played in the soap opera called Edge of Night, dies at the age of 70 years old. O.J. Simpson died on this day in 2024. I don't know if Brian mentioned that, but it's here, right here in front of me. He was 76 years old, and he was born July 9th, on Brian's birthday too, 1947 in San Francisco, California. And that's what's happening on this day in history. And if you happen to know what's happening on this day in history, and I didn't mention it, you happen to know something right off the top of your head, please let us know. Give us that information. We would love to hear it. And we want to bring it out there to all of you who are watching right now. And because me and my producers don't know everything. We have what we have here, but sometimes you may know something that's very important on this day in history as well. Okay, so we look forward to that. Now, those of you, I always encourage you to get in touch with us, right? You know, if you have anything to talk about, anything at all, questions about sports or what we do here, please, I'm going to give you my email address and my telephone number, all right? So you can get in touch with us. Feel free to do that anytime you like. The email address is frankallanprod@aol.com. Allan is spelled A-L-L-A-N. That's very important. Prod is P-R-O-D. That's short for productions. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Again, you can call at any time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You could email us or call us and leave us a message. And of course, since you took that effort to do that, we will return the phone call and return the email, for you, because you were nice enough to take the time to do it. And we just want to be nice enough to bring it back to you. You could do that. You could ask us any questions you want. Maybe there's a thing that you would like us to do on the show, or maybe you want to critique the show, which of course we always encourage you to do that, because we like for us to know where we stand with you and you stand with us. We love that. Or anything at all. You have a birthday coming up, some kind of information that's well worth us talking about, relaying to us. If you don't want to come out and do it yourself, of course, you can do that again with us, right? So the email address, once again, is frankallanprod@aol.com. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. Telephone number, once again, is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. I want to make mention, Mary just reminded me, and thank you, Mary, for this, but we won't be here until next Thursday. But by passing that day, the 15th of April, that's tax day. That's the end of it, all right? And that's, I believe, on a Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yes, it is. It's on a Tuesday. That's next week. And so if you haven't had your taxes done, if you didn't do it, Do it as quick as possible. Remember, you have one last day. If you need to file an extension, you can do that. But please get it out of the way. Don't get caught up in the rigmarole of all of these crazy things that's going on. All right, get it done as soon as possible. Right, there are a lot of places to go, and once you get that done, you can sit back and relax. And hopefully, if you happen to have something coming to you, hopefully you will get it. Hopefully you will get it. There's so many things that are happening. A lot of people, well, they say, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Suppose I don't get the money that I'm due. All right. I have my fingers crossed for it. Okay. All right. Well, as you already know, we've had so many things going on in the news this week. And I already talked about the thing that happened in New York. You heard about that. New Yorkers know about that. They had that helicopter crash that went down in the Hudson River, way on the west side of town. And it contained 6 people. One was the pilot, and the other 5 was a family of 5, 2 adults and 3 children. They went out on outing. They were on an outing touring New York City by way of helicopter, and the helicopter crashed. The propeller zinged off the helicopter, and the body of the helicopter dropped in without the propeller. So everything just went down. And so they recovered those bodies. And so now what they're doing, they're trying to find out what caused the accident or whatever, So we pray for all of those people. And you gotta listen to this. I didn't believe it. And something, I'm not going to take everything as gospel because I don't believe everything that I read and I hear. But I ran onto this little thing right here. Let me read it to you right quick. Firebrand Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene's X account briefly, that's the X, that was formerly known as Twitter. Her X account briefly urged her followers to send her son beer money for his 22nd birthday. It's my baby boy's birthday. He's 22. I love him so much. Buy him a beer. Greene's personal X account said in a now deleted post, is no longer there, that linked his son or her son Venmo account on Saturday. And that post was taken down minutes after it was sent out. But multiple screenshots taken by reporters captured the post. And it's not entirely clear whether or not that the Congresswoman actually made the post herself or whether someone used her account to direct payments to her son without her knowledge. So I just thought I'd just bring that out to you. It may not be true. It may not be true, but she wants you. If it's true, she's saying, buy my son a beer. Send him some money for beer in his account. Are things that bad? Send my son some beer. He's 22 years old. If it's true, send him some beer, poor guy. Send him some beer. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past it. If it's true, I wouldn't. If it's not true, I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not, but I wouldn't put it past it. Who knows? You already know we have new tariffs now. You heard about that, and especially for China. Now, the day before yesterday, they got hit with a tariff of 125%. All right, 20, and guess what? Today he boosted up to 145. 20% more, 145 for China. And China is not backing down on this thing. They said, we're Chinese and we're not going to bow down. We're not going to back down. And that's another word of saying we don't kiss rings, we don't kiss ass, and we don't bend the knee or bow the head. And that's what they're saying. But from 125% to now 145%. But what does he say? He's got it all under control. And of course, Brian talked about it. He talked about it already, about the stock market going up. Now, yesterday, the stock market had a little boost, and today it dropped again. And during all of that time, he's saying, oh, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. That's why you voted for me, because I know what I'm doing. And then he said all of these countries are out there. He said it at the dinner the other night, at whatever dinner they had. He's in his tuxedo and a bow tie. He says that all the countries are coming to him. Countries are kissing his ass and saying, "Sir, please, we'll make a deal. We want to make a deal. Sir, please, we'll do anything." First of all, no one calls him sir. No one calls him sir. So he's exaggerating. But he says a lot of these countries are kissing his ass and begging him to make a deal. In the meantime, when we're all under this problem last weekend, we had all of this problem going on, what does he do? He goes back to Florida. He flies to Florida and plays golf and have what they call a little candlelight dinner at Mar-a-Lago. All right, so this is where we are. I'm just letting you know about that the tariffs are going up, and there's more to come. So as this information comes along to you, I will keep repeating it until you get it right, And I hear on the news a lot of these people, a lot of these Trump voters, MAGA voters, I heard them on the air and saying, I voted for this. This is not what I voted for. Now I'm not gleeing over anything. I don't glee because everybody's in the same boat. But how many times have I said it on this show? Everybody, including the MAGA people, are going to be in the trenches with us. How many times have I said that? I kept saying it over and over. And they're going around saying, now I understand. I didn't vote for this. I voted for the man, but I didn't vote for this. Well, I got to tell you though, even though I'm not gleeing over this, but I don't feel sorry for you because I told you time and time again. Other people told you time and time again. You didn't read the contract. You didn't read the fine print. And you just put it in your pocket, say, yeah, I'm going to be taken care of. I'm going to get that high-tech paying job. I'm going to buy me a mansion. And if I'm living in New York, I'm going to go to the Hamptons and buy me a house over there. I don't think so. In the meantime, prices of eggs are going up. They're not coming down, which, of course, he promised you that as well. Okay. All right. Are you happy? I'll ask you again. Each week, I'll keep asking you. Now, are you happy? Okay, I have more of, I got movies, right? I got to tell you about these movies. I'm going to do it right quick because we're running out of time. So I have movies for this week that come from Turner Classic Movies that I suggest that you watch. And they're great movies, right? They're classic movies. They're all classics. And today I have 5 of them. Counting. Yeah, 5 of them. So let me get started right away. The first one goes back to 1958 with Tony Curtis and Sidney Poitier called The Defiant Ones. 1958. That's on Turner Classic Movies. You can catch it out Sunday at 4:15 a.m. Eastern if you're up that early. If not, you could DVR them and watch them later on. And Sunday in New York, 1964, with Rod Taylor, Jane Fonda, and Cliff Robinson. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. It's a color movie, it's a comedy. And it's on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Here's another comedy, a black and white from 1951 with Judy Holliday, Roger Crawford, and William Holden, which is called Yesterday. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And On the Waterfront from 1954, another black and white movie with Marlon Brando, Carl Malden, and Lee J. Cobb on Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And one of my all-time favorites, color one from 1967, Sidney Poitier, Rod Steiger, and Warren Oates, In the Heat of the Night. Smack, smack, smack. That's the classic one. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. And it's right there on Turner Classic Movies. And don't forget, you can go on Turner Classic Movies and go through the line and check out other movies that might be there. You have also all the free movies and all of those other things that you like. Free movies. And of course, you have children's programs, sporting events, all of that. It's right there. You're resourceful. You can check it out. Okay. So that's what we have this week for you. And I hope you get a chance to watch these movies. I'll repeat them tomorrow on the coffee hour, which I'll have for you. That's coming up tomorrow morning. And we'll see more about that later. Okay. So that's going to end things for me, ladies and gentlemen. I had a good time. I hope you did too. Again, I will be back here tomorrow morning, bright and early at 10 a.m. Eastern for the coffee hour. It's going to be you, me. Hopefully, Brian Camp will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. If not, we're going to cover all of that for him. And but because he may take that day off, we don't want you to take the day off. We want you to come back here with us and enjoy the coffee, sip a little coffee, a little tea, little donuts, Dunkin' Donuts, or whatever, right here. That's tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And then meet us back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. Brian Camp, of course, will surely be here for the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. I'll be looking for you as well. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant good night. And we'll see you soon. Take care.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allan. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.